Hello and welcome to this brief demonstration of the Sony Virtuoso Digital Language Laboratory. Sony Virtuoso is a software-only solution and comprises Sony Virtuoso, which is the screen you can see now, and that's the teacher control software. And in the foreground here, you can see Sony Soloist, which is the student's digital comparative recorder and player. At the moment, I have 4 students attending my session: Charlie, Laura, George, and William. I could have more students attend the session, and I could have the boxes laid out, for example, as the students in the language lab in front of me, and students in other drop-in areas or departments on campus or across campus, or with the Virtuoso distance education option, those could be students at other organizations, campuses, or indeed at home. So to begin with here, I'm working with Group 1, and I'm going to open up a sound file for them. So I'm going to click on Open File, and I'm going to click on the Lessons folder, which takes me to wherever my digital content is stored on the network. I click on Demonstration Files, and Unit 7 MP3 is the file that I want to open, so I'll double click on that. You can see that the sound file has been copied to my student down here, and if I now click on Play at the teacher's console,
Unit 7. Unit 7, 1.
It's under the teacher control now.
Shh.
Charlie here on my screen is the student you can see below as the Sony Soloist. So I've opened the sound file, and the students could now be on their own playing the sound file independently. You can see that Charlie's moved their sound file a little bit further forward. So if I now go to File List, I can now see that Charlie is at 10 seconds and everybody else is at 7 seconds. So we can see the position of all the students. Okay, I'm now going to close the file to close everybody's sound file. So I click on Close File. It asks me, do I want to close the students' files? I'll go yes please. And you'll notice that there's no file open. NF stands for no file, and if we have a look at the file list, you'll see no file open for any students. I'm now going to open a video file for the students. So I click Open File. You'll see number signing here, so I'm opening this file. You'll now see 2 things: the student recorder and an area where the video will play. So when I press play, you'll see the video starts to play. Now you'll also notice that there are bookmarks here that have already been pre-programmed with this video. So if I click on one of them, you'll see this cursor move there, then through the video as such. So you'll also notice that we can move the video cursor to any point, and this is an example of playing back the video. And I can move forward and play. So very easy to move around through the video. So I'll now close that video file. Once again, we'll close all the students' files and they'll be gone. I'm now going to click on a different type of file. When I click Open File, you'll notice I've got whoisit.txt and whoisit.wav. I've got a text file and an audio file. Now if you name them identically, you can open up both text and audio, or text and video at the same time. So if I click on the audio file, you'll see that a text file is opened and an audio file is opened. Now students can type into this, and we can actually collect the text and the audio at a later date using the Collect Work button if we need to. So while students are working away, if we now move on to the monitoring element of this, the teacher can click on Listen, and then if we click on Charlie, we can eavesdrop on what Charlie's doing, hear how they're going, hear how they're practicing without them knowing what we're doing. So we'll be listening to what Charlie is now doing. So without Charlie knowing, I could then move on to Laura, and then to George, and then to William. And each time the sound that I'm hearing in my headset as the teacher, it just changes. So if I decided that Charlie's not working hard enough for whatever reason, I can click on Intercom. And so if I click on Charlie and go from Listen to Intercom, you'll note Teacher Intercom comes up here, and we can now have a 2-way dialogue between Charlie and myself. I can do that with Laura, and again I can move around the screen. So I'll untick Intercom and return the student to their file. So I may also decide to click on Charlie and monitor his screen as well. So if I click there and I click monitor screen, what you'll see happen is the teacher can now see student 1's screen. Now further to that, if I then click on control, I can actually take keyboard mouse control. By taking keyboard mouse control of the student's screen, I can highlight passages that need work or type corrections into their document, etc. I could combine this function with the intercom function to speak to the student while correcting their document. I'm now going to turn off the monitor screen function and return control back to Virtuoso. I'm now going to click on Close File and close all the students' files. So you'll see all the files are gone and we have no file up here. Now if I had a student who had done some exemplary work, I could click on Model Screen here, then all the students would be able to see Student 1's screen. I'm now going to send my screen to all the students by clicking on the Send Screen button. So you'll now be able to, all the students will be able to see my desktop, as you can see here. And then we can turn Send Screen off and restore back to the local student screens. Now I can also click on blank screens and you'll see that all the student desktops are blanked, and if I combine blank screen with lock keyboard and mouse and disable Windows, then that means that all the students are unable to carry on any work that I do not want them to do. It keeps them focused. Now if I disable Windows once more, you'll notice down in the bottom left of the Student 1 screen, down here, that all the icons and buttons are disabled. So all the shortcut keys are disabled, so they can't go anywhere other than where you want them to be. So they can only work with Soloist and with any work that I've given them. I'm now going to turn off the Disable Window function. Restore control back to the student. If I click on the Internet button now, which is just here, you'll see that I have a web page on my web browser here. I haven't maximized it on my screen, but if I click on the Send Page button up here, you'll see that this page is now being sent to all the students. On the student screen, they could have a sound file as well, working with that while working with the web page at the same time. You can see that Charlie doesn't have an address bar at the top of the screen. All they get is back, forward, stop and refresh. So they can't go and navigate to their email or do anything else other than what you want them to do. But it is a live web page and they can click on links and work with that web page. Now I could change the settings to give them a navigation bar to type in other things. If I wanted to, I have that under settings here. Now it's also possible to open a second web page for students. If I navigate to a different web page, I can right click on Send Page and give them a second web page. So you might have a dictionary for reference and an actual web page that they need to use in their lesson. Very easy to work with the internet in a controlled way, and I can close that as well. Virtuoso also has a very comprehensive pairing capability. If I just get that out of the way, if I bring up the pair selection screen, you'll see that it's very easy to select students either using random pairing or teacher selected pairing. So I can select the students that I want to pair up very easily here. Note that in addition to audio pairing, we can also add text chat pairing down here. So for example, one student could speak and the other could type what they hear. Also whiteboard pairing, so you could do Pictionary type lessons where one student speaks and the other student draws what they hear. So if I select students to be paired and click OK, so I've selected them, and then I start the pairing activity, you'll see that Charlie and George are paired up, as well as Laura and William. Now if I look at the student screen, you'll see that Charlie, student 1, is paired with George, and I can see the name of the student there. It's also possible for the student to record the pairing session as well. So I'll now end the pairing activity, and you'll see they return to group 1, and the student can now review their paired recording, and it is also possible for them to save it or for you to collect that recording as well and listen to the paired conversation. Finally, I'd like to mention the analyzer. Up here you can see the analyzer button. When I turn this on, you'll see the analyzer pop up on the screen. Now immediately down here on the student screen you can see analyzer response 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can set the answer to be 2, I can display a question in one form or another, and then I can start that question, and you'll see that the students are prompted to respond with the answer. So this person could choose 3, and I could choose 2 on another person, and you can see the totalizer changing as a student's answer. So every single response from the student can be taken in and exported as a document. So I'll close that question. And I could then start a new question and continue that process. So I'll press exit there. Thank you very much for watching this brief demonstration of Sony Virtuoso. If you want more information from us, please contact us using the links on screen.